Hey, this is Anarchy Dice here, hoping to just give you a little bit of inspiration. So I'm moving on from my previous cave tiles, which is a DM Scotty style cardboard base and glue-soaked toilet paper on the walls there. And I've been using these for a while and they have held up fairly strong. But now I'm moving over using one of my Christmas gifts, this nifty little foam cutter, and some pink building foam. Now these guys are nice little cave tiles of Black Magic Craft style cut out from the pink building foam. And what I would do with this is I would mark off my pink building foam where I wanted to cut it, and I would cut out the basic outline on this little foam cutter here. And then I would take a second pass, and if you see this second bevel I put on there, I would just take that and do that at kind of an awkward angle, cutting in, getting it at varying angles all across that side there to give it a very rock-like appearance. Then I would take all of these pieces, give them a good coat of watered down PVA, maybe 50-50 mix with water and white glue. Spread that on with a thick brush, and then dump on some construction sand on there to give it a nice little cave texture look. After that, I just layered on some Craftsman black acrylic paint, because you can't use spray paint on these to give them a black bomb. Once I based it, put on some more Craftsman graphite to give it that dark gray base coat. Then I did a dry brushing of the gray, followed with a very light dry brushing of the golden brown to give it a little bit of dirt and earth and some of those more rare minerals and stone veins going through there. And then very lightly, I used this sponge right here, and I just sponged on just a little bit of brown. And you can see that on a few different spots where there's just the hints of a little bit darker, a little bit of dirt going through the area. And I just rattled off a whole mess of these different cave tiles. And to give you an idea of what this could look like, you can kind of see over here, this could be an outdoor area where I put some cliffs along and maybe a little bit of ladder. And that scorpion is just raring to go depending on where your adventurers show up. And this can be used with other pieces and other outdoor terrain pretty easily, and it's very configurable. Alternatively, and this is the main purpose that I built it for, was to build together cave tile systems that the adventurers can go in, and I can just set these cave tiles down, put them down here, and then as they connect up, this would be maybe an area where the cave connects, and you can see kind of a little labyrinth that you can put together. In this case, there's a little sagging bridge, and then it can wrap around, and the players might find some spiders down in those caves. And that can be a pretty easy system to set up, and then I can even take maybe another piece, put it inside there, and that easily makes up, I can say maybe that's a set of cave or rock that goes all the way up to the ceiling, or I could say that that's an elevation change within the cave. Either way, it makes these tiles very versatile and a lot more useful than something back when I originally made these. Not to say that these don't have their place and their use, but now that I've got my nice little foam cutter, which I'll put a link to the Amazon page for that in the description, just in case you want to get the same thing. No affiliate or any kind of deals with them, just something that I found very useful. And it was pretty cost effective, so you might find it useful for yourself. If you can't do something like that, you can cut these out with just a craft knife or a sharp xacto blade. You're going to want to make sure you use a new blade, because if you don't, you'll get a lot of tear out where the foam will kind of catch up against itself, and you'll see a lot of little chunks and pieces get ripped off. Now, I would show you how to do that here, but I really hate the sound that styrofoam makes when it rubs against other styrofoam or when you're cutting it, so I avoided that as much as possible, even though the Black Magic Craft style of doing this was to cut out that bevel with a craft knife. I decided to do it with that foam cutter, and I really like the results. I'll put a link to his video so you can see a little bit better of a tutorial. I'm just showing off some of the terrain that I've made and to show that it's hopefully not too hard to make and it's pretty useful to use on the table. Alright, thanks. This is Anarchy Dice, signing out.